Your future is not waiting for you somewhere far away. It is being built right now, in the small choices you keep repeating when no one is watching. My friend, listen carefully. Most people imagine their future as a mystery. They think one day life will suddenly change. One day clarity will arrive. One day confidence will appear. One day discipline will become easy. But that day never comes, because the future is not created by waiting. It is carved, one thought at a time, one habit at a time, one uncomfortable decision at a time. Stoic philosophy teaches a harsh truth that many people spend their whole lives avoiding. You are not only living today, you are constructing tomorrow. Every time you delay what you know must be done, you are voting for a weaker future. Every time you choose comfort over courage, you are teaching your soul to obey ease. Every time you blame your past, your circumstances, your fear, or other people, you may feel relief for a moment, but you also give away ownership of your life. And ownership is where power begins. This video is called Stoic Philosophy. Your future is built today. Not because today is perfect. Not because your past was easy. Not because life has been fair. But because this day, with all its pressure, uncertainty, fatigue, and discomfort, is still material in your hands. The Stoic does not ask for a life without resistance. He asks, what can be built from the resistance? Think of yourself as a sculptor standing before a block of stone. The stone is not smooth. It is heavy, flawed, cold, and difficult. But the sculptor does not curse the stone because it is hard. He understands that hardness is the very thing that allows form to appear. Your habits are the chisel. Your attention is the hand. Your discipline is the strike. And your future is the figure slowly appearing from the stone. But here is the danger. If you do not sculpt yourself consciously, life will still carve you. Distraction will carve you. Fear will carve you. Comfort will carve you. Excuses will carve you. The opinions of others will carve you. And one day, you will look at the person you have become and realize that you did not choose him. You merely allowed him to happen. That is why this lesson matters. Today, you will learn why responsibility is not punishment, but control. You will learn why clarity is more powerful than motivation. You will learn why hesitation drains more energy than action. You will learn how small habits become chains, either lifting you towards strength or binding you to your old self. You will learn why gratitude does not kill ambition, but purifies it. You will learn why comfort must be held like a wild horse, not obeyed like a master. And you will learn why time must be guarded like sacred gold, because what you give your hours to, you eventually give your life to. This is not a speech to make you feel inspired for a few minutes. Inspiration fade. This is a mirror, a blade, a call back to ownership. So before we begin, ask yourself one question. If your future is built from what you repeat today, would you trust the life you are currently constructing? Stay with me, because by the end of this, you will understand that your future is not coming. You are building it, and the work has already begun. The future does not come from fate. It is sculpted by the small choices you make today. Your future is not hidden in the stars. It is hidden in the habits you keep repeating. My friend, listen carefully. Most people speak of the future as if it is something that will arrive one day, fully formed, like a gift from fate. They say, one day I will be disciplined. One day I will be clear. One day I will become strong. One day I will finally live the life I know I am capable of living. But the Stoic does not worship one day. The Stoic studies today, because today is the workshop where tomorrow is being made. Every action you repeat is a chisel strike against the stone of your character. Every excuse leaves a mark. Every act of discipline leaves a mark. Every time you choose comfort, when courage was required, you carve weakness a little deeper. Every time you do the hard thing quietly, you carve strength into the form of your life. Nothing is neutral. The way you wake up is a vote. The way you speak to yourself is a vote. The way you use your time is a vote. The way you respond to pressure is a vote. The way you act when no one is watching is a vote. And over time, these votes become the person you call yourself. This is why your future is not a mystery. It is a pattern. If your days are filled with delay, your future will carry the weight of unfinished promises. If your attention is scattered, your future will be built from fragments. If your choices are ruled by fear, your future will inherit a smaller version of you. But if your days are shaped by discipline, clarity, courage, and honest effort, then the future has no choice but to begin taking that shape. Marcus Aurelius reminded himself again and again that character is not built by words, but by action. Not by intention, but by practice. You may say you want a better life, but what do your repeated actions say? You may say you want strength, but do your habits train strength? You may say you want peace, but do your thoughts feed peace? You may say you want freedom, but do you keep obeying the same old impulses like a servant? This is where most people suffer. They want a future that their present behavior is not building. They want confidence while repeating avoidance. They want success while protecting comfort. They want respect while betraying their own standards. They want transformation without the daily strikes of the chisel. But life does not honor what you wish for. It honors what you practice. So today, do not ask what kind of future you want. Ask what kind of future your actions are already creating. That question is uncomfortable. Good. Truth is often uncomfortable before it becomes liberating. Because once you see that your choices are shaping you, you can no longer hide behind confusion. You can no longer pretend that your life is only happening to you. You begin to understand that even if you cannot control everything, you are still responsible for what you repeatedly become. This is the first Stoic lesson. Do not wait for fate to reveal your future. Sculpt it with one honest choice. One disciplined action, one refusal to betray yourself, one moment where you choose the person you must become over the comfort you want to keep. The statue does not appear after one strike, but without the first strike it never appears at all. And now that you understand your future is being carved by your choices, we must face the second truth. When you stop blaming the world, the Stoic compass can finally begin to point you home. When you stop blaming, the Stoic compass finally begins to point in the right direction. Blame is a soft pillow for a tired ego, but no man ever built a worthy life while sleeping on it. My friend, this is the second Stoic lesson. There comes a moment when you must stop explaining your life and begin directing it. For a long time, it feels comforting to blame. You blame the past. You blame your childhood. You blame the people who hurt you. You blame the economy, the timing, the unfairness of the world, the opportunities you did not receive, the support no one gave you. And perhaps some of it is true. Stoicism does not ask you to pretend pain did not happen. It asks you what you will do now that it has happened. That is the turning point. Because blame may explain where the wound came from, but it cannot heal the wound. Blame may describe the storm, but it cannot teach your hands to hold the compass. At some point, the question must change. Not who caused this, but what part is now mine to command. That question is where power returns. Most people avoid responsibility because they confuse it with guilt. They think responsibility means saying everything was their fault, but this is false. Responsibility does not mean every pain began with you. It means the next action belongs to you. Your past may not be your fault, but your patterns are now your responsibility. Your fear may have been learned, but your courage must now be trained. Your habits may have been shaped by years you did not fully understand, but your future will be shaped by what you choose after understanding. This is the Stoic compass. It does not point toward comfort. It points toward ownership. And ownership is often painful at first because it removes your favorite hiding places. It leaves you standing in the open, without excuses, without a crowd to accuse, without a story that keeps you innocent but powerless. Yet this is also the first taste of freedom. Because if everything is someone else's fault, then everything depends on someone else changing. But if even one part is yours to command, then your life is no longer frozen. You can move, you can adjust, you can begin. Marcus Aurelius did not waste his strength complaining that the world was difficult. He expected difficulty. He prepared his mind for difficult people, unfair turns, fatigue, and resistance. Not so he could become bitter, but so he could remain steady. That is what you must learn. Do not wait for life to become fair before you become disciplined. Do not wait for people to apologize before you rebuild. Do not wait for the past to become painless before you act with dignity. Take the compass back into your own hand. Ask yourself, what can I correct? What can I practice? What can I stop repeating? What standard can I raise today? What excuse have I mistaken for truth? These questions are not gentle, but they are clean. They cut away the fog of self-pity and return you to the path of action. My friend, the moment you stop blaming is not the moment you deny what happened. It is the moment you refuse to let what happened remain the author of your life. This is the second Stoic lesson. Blame keeps you looking backward. Ownership turns the compass forward. And once the compass is finally in your hand, we must face the third truth. You do not lack motivation. You lack a clear version of yourself to become. You do not lack motivation. You lack a clear version of yourself to become. Motivation is a candle in the wind. Identity is a fire carried in the bones. My friend, this is the third Stoic lesson. Many people believe they fail because they are not motivated enough. They wait for emotion to rise. They wait for a perfect morning. They wait for the mind to feel ready, the body to feel strong, and the heart to feel certain. But motivation is unstable. It arrives loudly and leaves quietly. It gives you energy for a moment, then disappears. The moment discomfort appears. This is why the Stoic does not build his life on motivation. He builds it on identity. He asks not, what do I feel like doing? He asks, what would the person I am becoming do now? That question changes everything, because when you do not know who you are becoming, every decision becomes a negotiation. Comfort makes an argument. Fear makes an argument. Laziness makes an argument. Distraction makes an argument. And because you have no clear standard, the loudest impulse often wins. You become a kingdom with no ruler. One part of you wants discipline. Another part wants escape. One part wants growth. Another part wants ease. One part wants greatness. Another part wants one more hour of numb comfort. This is not balance. It is civil war inside the soul. Clarity ends that war. Not completely, not instantly, but enough to give command back to the right part of you. So define the person you are becoming. Do not define him vaguely. Do not say, I want to be better. Better is too weak. Say exactly how he lives. How does he wake? How does he use time? How does he speak when angry? How does he act when no one praises him? How does he handle failure? How does he respond when comfort calls his name? How does he carry pain without letting it become an excuse? The clearer this version becomes, the easier your decisions become. Because now, you are not choosing between comfort and discipline as abstract ideas. You are choosing between two selves. The old self who repeats the pattern, and the future self who must be built. Marcus Aurelius did not ask himself each day whether he felt inspired to be virtuous. He reminded himself what a human being was meant to do, to act with reason, to serve what is good, to govern the self before attempting to judge the world. This is the Stoic standard. You must stop begging your mood for permission to become who you said you wanted to become. Your mood is weather. Your identity is the mountain. Let the weather change. The mountain remains. My friend, write the future version of yourself with precision. Then, when the day tests you, ask which action belongs to him. If he is disciplined, then act with discipline. If he is honest, then speak with honesty. If he is strong, then choose the harder right thing over the easier escape. If he is calm, then breathe before reacting. Do this enough times, and the future self stops being an idea. He becomes familiar. Then he becomes natural. Then he becomes you. This is the third Stoic lesson. You do not need endless motivation. You need a clear identity, and repeated loyalty to it. And once your identity becomes clear, the next enemy will reveal itself: hesitation, the silent leech that drains your energy before you even begin. Hesitation is the silent leech that drains your energy before you act. Hesitation does not look dangerous at first. It only asks you to think a little longer while your life quietly passes by. My friend, this is the fourth Stoic lesson. Many people believe they are tired because they have worked too hard. But often, they are tired because they have delayed too much. They did not spend the day acting. They spent the day negotiating. Should I begin now? Should I wait? What if I fail? What if this is not the right time? What if I choose wrong? What if someone judges me? The body sits still, but the mind runs in circles until the soul is exhausted. This is the hidden cost of hesitation. It consumes the energy that action was supposed to use. A man can lose half his strength before he even begins, simply by arguing with himself for too long. The Stoic sees this clearly. He knows that thought is useful only when it leads to right action. But thought that circles forever becomes a swamp. The more you step in, the deeper you sink. There is a difference between reflection and avoidance. Reflection asks, what is wise? Avoidance asks the same question again and again, because it is afraid to move. Do not confuse the two. Marcus Aurelius reminded himself that life could end at any moment. This was not meant to create panic. It was meant to kill useless delay. Because if your time is limited, then hesitation is not harmless. It is theft. It steals your mornings. It steals your focus. It steals the first clean fire of your intention. And after stealing all that, it leaves you with guilt and calls it caution. My friend, the truth is this. Most decisions do not require perfect certainty. They require a standard. If the action is aligned with the person you are becoming, begin. If it strengthens your discipline, begin. If it honors your future more than your comfort, begin. If it is honest, necessary, and within your control, begin. You do not need to see the whole road to take the next step. You need enough light to place your foot where duty is calling. Action creates clarity, not the other way around. The more you delay, the heavier the task becomes. The more you act, the more the fog begins to break. This is why identity matters. When you know who you are becoming, you do not need to debate every small decision. The standard has already decided. The disciplined person does not ask whether he feels like doing the work. He does the work. The honest person does not ask whether truth is convenient. He speaks carefully and clearly. The strong person does not ask whether discomfort is pleasant. He meets it because strength is built there. So when hesitation appears, do not wrestle with it for hours. Numb it. This is fear wearing the mask of analysis. Then move. One small action. One sentence written. One message sent. One workout begun. One page read. One task opened. The leech loses power the moment movement begins. This is the fourth Stoic lesson. Do not feed hesitation with endless thought. Starve it with action, because the life you want will not be built by the version of you that keeps waiting to feel certain. It will be built by the version of you that begins while the hand is still shaking. And once you learn to move before certainty arrives, you must build the next discipline. A chain of habits strong enough to pull you upward, instead of binding you to the old self. The chain of habits will lift you up or bind you to the old self. A habit is never just a habit. It is a chain. And every day you decide whether that chain pulls you upward or keeps you tied to who you used to be. My friend, this is the fifth Stoic lesson. Most people think change requires a dramatic moment, a powerful burst of motivation, a sudden awakening, a perfect morning when the mind is clear, the body is ready, and life finally feels easy. But that moment rarely comes. Real change is quieter. It is built by sequence. One action following another. One small promise kept. One repeated movement that slowly becomes a standard. The Stoic does not wait to feel transformed before he acts differently. He acts differently until transformation becomes unavoidable. This is why the chain matters. If every habit stands alone, every habit requires a new battle. You must convince yourself to begin again and again. You must negotiate with comfort. You must defeat resistance from zero each time. That is exhausting. But when habits are linked, one action carries you into the next. You wake, you stand, you drink water, you move the body, you sit in silence, you write the first line, you begin the most important task. No drama, no speech, no negotiation, just the next link. This is how discipline becomes less dependent on emotion. The chain begins to move before the mind has time to argue. But understand this, chains can save you or enslave you. The same law that builds strength can also build decay. You wake and reach for the phone. The phone leads to scrolling. Scrolling leads to comparison. Comparison leads to resentment. Resentment leads to delay. Delay leads to guilt. Guilt leads to escape. And by noon, the day already belongs to the old self. Not because one action destroyed you, but because one link pulled the next. So do not ask only, what habit should I build? Ask, what chain is already pulling my life? Trace it. Study it. Where does your weakness begin? Where does your focus break? Where does the old self take command? A Stoic does not hate himself for seeing the chain. He simply stops pretending it is invisible. Then he replaces it, not with a complicated plan, with a better sequence. Make the first action small enough that pride cannot turn it into performance, and fear cannot turn it into delay. A single page, a short walk, a cleaned desk, a written sentence, a breath before speaking. A small beginning done every day is stronger than a heroic plan abandoned after a week. Marcus Aurelius reminded himself to do the work of a human being, not when inspired, not when applauded, not when certain, simply because it was his work. That is the spirit of this lesson. Build a chain that does not ask your mood for permission. One link today, one link tomorrow, one link when tired, one link when unseen, one link when the old self whispers that stopping would be easier. Over time, the chain becomes identity. You become someone who follows through, someone who can trust his own word, someone whose life is no longer dragged by impulse, but guided by structure. This is the fifth Stoic lesson. Protect the chain, because what you repeat will either rescue you from the old self or return you to him. And once your habits begin to carry you forward, you must learn the next truth. Gratitude does not kill ambition. It turns ambition into a flame you can actually control. Gratitude does not kill ambition. It turns ambition into a controlled flame. A man who cannot see what he already has will turn every dream into a hunger that never ends. My friend, this is the sixth Stoic lesson. Many people fear gratitude because they think it will make them weak. They believe that if they become thankful, they will lose their edge. They think peace will destroy ambition, and contentment will make them settle for less than they were meant to become. But that is a misunderstanding. Gratitude does not kill ambition. It cleans it. It removes desperation from the flame. Without gratitude, ambition becomes a fire with no boundary. It burns through your sleep, your peace, your relationships, your health, and still asks for more. You achieve one thing, and the mind says, not enough. You improve, and the mind says, still behind. You receive what you once prayed for, and the mind immediately points toward what is missing. This is not ambition. This is slavery wearing the mask of progress. The Stoic does not reject growth. He rejects blindness. He understands that a person can build the future while still honoring the present. He can want more without despising what is already here. He can pursue excellence without treating his current life like an enemy. Ask yourself, what have I stopped noticing? What once felt like a blessing, but now feels ordinary? What strength have I built that I no longer respect? What progress have I made that I refuse to acknowledge because I am too busy staring at the next mountain? These questions return your eyes to reality. Marcus Aurelius often reminded himself that life is fragile, brief, and uncertain. Not to become passive, but to become awake. When you remember that nothing is guaranteed, even simple things become clearer. Breath, health, a chance to begin again. A mind that can still choose. A body that can still move. A day that has not yet ended. These are not small things. They only appear small to a distracted soul. Gratitude gives ambition a foundation. Without it, you are always running from lack. With it, you begin moving from strength. There is a difference. A man driven by lack is never free. He must prove. He must chase. He must compare. He must reach the next thing before he can allow himself to breathe. But a man grounded in gratitude can still climb. He simply does not hate the ground beneath his feet while climbing. That kind of ambition is steadier, cleaner, more powerful. It does not panic when progress is slow. It does not collapse when others move faster. It does not poison the present in order to worship the future. My friend, do not confuse dissatisfaction with drive. Sometimes dissatisfaction is only ingratitude with a louder voice. The Stoic flame must be controlled. Fire inside a lamp gives light. Fire without boundary destroys the house around it. So let gratitude become the lamp around your ambition. Each morning, name what is already present. Each evening, honor one thing you did well. Not to become soft, but to become sane. Because if nothing is ever enough for you, then even success will feel like poverty. This is the 6th Stoic lesson. Be grateful without becoming lazy. Be ambitious without becoming blind. Want the future without insulting the present. Let your ambition burn, but do not let it burn you alive. And once that flame is steady, you must face the next lesson. The wild horse of comfort must be held by the reins of discipline every single day. The wild horse of comfort must be held by the reins of discipline every day. Comfort is not evil, but when comfort becomes the rider, your life becomes a runaway horse. My friend, this is the 7th Stoic lesson. There are moments when you already know what the right choice is. You know you should begin the work. You know you should put the phone down. You know you should train the body, speak the truth, keep the promise, or face the difficult task. But then comfort whispers, not loudly, softly, stay a little longer, rest a little more, start tomorrow. You deserve ease. And if you do not hold the reins, comfort begins to steer your life. This is how most people lose themselves. Not in one dramatic collapse, but in 1,000 small surrenders. One skipped action. One delayed promise, one easy escape, one more day of choosing what feels good now over what builds strength later. At first it looks harmless. Then it becomes familiar. Then it becomes your nature. The Stoic does not hate comfort. He simply refuses to be ruled by it. A horse has power, speed, energy, force. But without reins, that power becomes danger. It runs wherever fear, hunger, or impulse pulls it. Your desires are the same. Comfort can restore you when used wisely, but comfort without discipline weakens the soul. Pleasure without boundaries makes the will soft. Ease without purpose turns into decay. This is why discipline must hold the reins every day. Not once, not only when inspired, every day. Because the old self does not disappear after one good decision. It waits, it watches, it returns through small invitations. Skip this, avoid that. Relax your standards. Nobody will know, but you will know. And every time you choose comfort over your own higher standard, you teach yourself that your word is negotiable. That is the real cost, not the missed workout, not the unfinished task, not the wasted hour. The real cost is the quiet destruction of self-trust. A man who does not trust himself cannot build a strong life, because every promise he makes to himself carries the memory of all the promises he broke. So begin restoring that trust. Choose one hard right thing today. Not 10. 1. Do it when you do not feel like doing it. Do it without applause. Do it without announcing it. Do it because the future version of you is watching. This is how discipline is built. Not by hating comfort, but by proving that comfort does not own you. When the body asks for ease, give it wisdom. When the mind asks for delay, give it action. When desire pulls one way, let virtue pull harder. Marcus Aurelius did not measure life by how pleasant it felt. He measured it by whether he lived according to reason and duty. That is the Stoic standard. The question is not, what is easiest right now? The question is, what choice will make me stronger tomorrow? Ask that often enough, and the reins return to your hands. This is the 7th Stoic lesson. Ride the horse. Do not be dragged by it. Let comfort serve recovery, not rule your character. Because the person who masters comfort gains something rare, a will that does not collapse the moment life becomes difficult. And once you can hold the reins of comfort, you must guard the most sacred treasure next. Your time, because invisible thieves are waiting to steal it while calling it entertainment. The guardian of time must protect every hour from invisible thieves. Time is not stolen from most people by tragedy. It is stolen by small pleasures that leave nothing behind. My friend, this is the 8th Stoic lesson. You do not lack time as often as you think. More often, you have allowed time to leak through unguarded attention. A glance at the phone becomes 10 minutes. 10 minutes becomes an hour. An hour becomes a pattern. A pattern becomes a life you did not consciously choose. And the most dangerous part is that it does not feel like destruction while it is happening. It feels harmless, easy, entertaining, deserved. But the invisible thieves never arrive with swords. They arrive as comfort, noise, scrolling, comparison, cheap entertainment, and endless little escapes from the work your soul knows must be done. Marcus Aurelius understood the weight of time. He reminded himself that life is brief and that each day must be treated as something that cannot be returned once spent. This is not meant to make you afraid. It is meant to make you awake, because every hour is an exchange. When you give an hour to distraction, you are not only losing time, you are giving away the strength, skill, peace, and future that hour could have built. Your attention is the gate through which your life is spent. Guard it, not with fear, with respect. A soldier guarding treasure does not hate the world outside him. He simply understands what must not be left unprotected. You must become that soldier. Stand watch over your hours. Ask before you give them away. What will this cost me? What will this build in me? Will I remember this tomorrow? Will this make me clearer, stronger, wiser, more aligned with the person I am becoming? If the answer is no, then be careful. Not everything that entertains you deserves access to your life. The modern world is skilled at taking from you without making you feel robbed. It gives you motion without progress, noise without wisdom, stimulation without growth. And if you are not awake, you will mistake consumption for living. But life is not measured only by years. It is measured by attention. What you repeatedly give attention to becomes the shape of your inner world. And the shape of your inner world becomes the direction of your outer life. This is why the Stoic does not treat attention cheaply. He knows that a distracted man is easy to command, easy to sell to, easy to provoke, easy to weaken, easy to lead away from himself. So take back 1 hour. Not the whole life at once. 1 hour. Use it to build, to think, to train, to read, to write, to sit in silence, to do the work you keep avoiding. Protect that hour like sacred ground. Do this daily, and your life begins to change, not because the world gives you more time, but because you stop surrendering the time you already had. This is the 8th Stoic lesson. Guard your time from invisible thieves, because what steals your hours eventually steals your future. And once your time is guarded, we must face the 9th lesson. Each night, the sculptor must look honestly at the stone he shaped during the day. Each night, the sculptor must look honestly at the stone he shaped during the day. A day you never examine becomes a mistake You are destined to repeat. My friend, this is the 9th Stoic lesson. After you have guarded your time from invisible thieves, you must do something most people fear. You must look back at how you used it. Not with shame, not with self-hatred, not with the cruel voice of a judge, but with the clear eye of a sculptor studying the stone after a long day of work. Because every day, you shape something. With your words, with your choices, with your attention, with your discipline, with your anger, with your avoidance, with your courage. The question is not whether you carved the stone today. The question is what shape you gave it. Most people go to sleep without looking. They finish the day tired, distracted, irritated, and numb. They escape into noise because silence would force them to see the truth. They do not ask where they lost control. They do not ask where they acted with virtue. They do not ask what pattern repeated itself again. So the same weakness returns tomorrow, wearing a different mask. The Stoic does not live this way. The Stoic understands that a life improves only when it is examined honestly. Seneca practiced this every evening. He reviewed his day, not to punish himself, but to correct himself. He understood that the soul becomes cleaner when it stops hiding from its own behavior. So tonight, before sleep, become the sculptor. Look at the stone. Ask yourself 3 questions. Where did I live beneath my standard today? Where did I act with courage, discipline, honesty, or restraint? What one thing must I correct tomorrow? Do not answer vaguely. Vague reflection creates vague growth. If you wasted time, say it clearly. If you reacted from ego, say it clearly. If you avoided the work, say it clearly. If you chose discipline when comfort called, honor it clearly. If you spoke with patience, honor it. If you protected your attention, honor it. The Stoic does not only notice failure, he also studies strength, because what you recognize, you can repeat. This is not guilt. This is craftsmanship. A sculptor does not scream at the stone because the form is unfinished. He studies the mark, adjusts the hand, and returns tomorrow with better aim. You must do the same with your life. Do not end the day as a victim of your mistakes. End it as a student of them. Do not let regret become a swamp. Turn it into instruction. Do not let pride make you blind. Turn success into evidence of what works. My friend, if you do this for 1 night, you will feel uncomfortable. If you do it for 7 nights, you will see patterns. If you do it for 30 nights, you will begin to change. Because the examined day becomes a corrected life. This is the 9th Stoic lesson. Each night, look honestly at the stone you shaped. Keep what was noble. Correct what was weak. Return tomorrow with a steadier hand. And once you learn to examine the day, you are ready for the final truth. When you live with intention, the future is no longer a mystery. It becomes the structure you are building with your own hands. When you live with intention, the future is no longer a mystery but a structure built by your own hands. The future does not arrive as a surprise. It arrives as the harvest of what you practiced in silence. My friend, this is the final Stoic lesson. After you have taken responsibility, defined who you are becoming, starved hesitation with action, built the chain of habits, steadied ambition with gratitude, held comfort by the reins, guarded your time, and examined your day like a sculptor, one truth becomes impossible to ignore. Your life is not random. It is constructed, not all at once, not loudly, not in one heroic moment, but quietly, through repeated choices that seem small until they become your character. Most people fear the future because they have not studied what they are building today. They call tomorrow uncertain, but they keep repeating the same actions that make tomorrow predictable. If you repeat delay, you will meet regret. If you repeat distraction, you will meet emptiness. If you repeat excuses, you will meet weakness. If you repeat discipline, you will meet strength. If you repeat courage, you will meet self-respect. If you repeat clarity, you will meet a life that begins to obey your direction. This is not magic. This is construction. A builder does not stare at an empty field and beg the gods for a temple. He lays one stone, then another, then another. He measures. He corrects. He returns the next day. He does not curse the structure because it is unfinished. He understands that unfinished does not mean impossible. You must treat your life the same way. Do not despise the slow work. Do not mock the small step. Do not abandon the foundation because the roof has not appeared yet. A future worth living is not thrown together by emotion. It is built by standards. And standards are kept when no one is watching. Marcus Aurelius understood this. He did not ask life to become easier before he practiced virtue. He practiced virtue in the life he was given. That is the essence of Stoicism. To take the material of today and shape it with reason. To take pressure and turn it into discipline. To take uncertainty and answer it with action. To take weakness and meet it with training. To take time and spend it as if it is sacred. My friend, you do not need to know every detail of the future. You only need to know the kind of person who is allowed to build it. Will it be the person who waits? The person who blames? The person who drifts? The person who negotiates with every hard thing? Or will it be the person who acts, corrects, learns, returns, and builds again? That choice is made today, and tomorrow, and the day after that. This is why the Stoic future is not a fantasy. It is a structure rising from repeated command. Every morning is a foundation. Every habit is a stone. Every disciplined act is a pillar. Every honest review is a correction of the design. Every refusal to betray yourself is another wall made stronger. This is the final Stoic lesson. Live with intention. Build consciously. Let no day pass without placing something worthy into the structure of your life. Because your future is not waiting somewhere ahead. It is already being built by what you repeat today. And if you do not like what is rising, return to your hands. Change the pattern. Strike the stone differently. Lay the next stone with honor. That is how a human being becomes the architect of his own fate. My friend, remember this. Your future is not built by what you promise. It is built by what you repeat. Every excuse repeated becomes a chain. Every hesitation repeated becomes a weakness. Every distraction repeated becomes a stolen life. But every disciplined action repeated becomes strength. Every honest choice repeated becomes character. Every small act of courage repeated becomes a future you can finally respect. Stoic philosophy does not ask you to become perfect. It asks you to become responsible. Responsible for your attention. Responsible for your habits. Responsible for your standards. Responsible for the person you are carving from the stone of today. You do not need to fix your whole life in one moment. You need to stop betraying the next moment. That is where the work begins. Not tomorrow. Not when motivation returns. Not when fear disappears. Not when life becomes easier. Now, with the next choice. With the next breath. With the next action that proves you are no longer owned by the old pattern. So when you wake tomorrow, do not ask whether you feel ready. Ask what the person you are becoming would do. Then do that. Quietly, honestly, repeatedly. Because one day, you will stand inside the life your choices have built. And on that day, you will either thank yourself for the discipline you practiced in silence, or you will suffer the weight of all the moments you gave away. The future is not coming to save you. The future is watching what you do today. So take the compass, hold the reins, guard your time, shape the stone, and build a life that your soul can stand inside without shame.